So, you know what stored upper work is, yeah. But it also
You
had
realize
everything
I'm
to do.
videotaping, right?
Oh, man.
But I don't know how to get this on Facebook and still be able to say something. But basically, look at that. That's a snail. I don't know what kind of snail he is, but that's a snail. And I was just I was kind of almost inspired because I walked over him. Sorry. I walked over him. Look at him. He's coming out of his shell, but he's still inching and moving along. He's inching and moving along. Nothing's bothering him. He's chilling, but he's doing what he's supposed to do. So, with that being said, that's just so neat. Sooner or later, is he going to come out of his shell, Destiny? Sooner or later,
Yeah.
as he grows?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, nature is wonderful. God is wonderful. You have a world around you that is wonderful if you just stop and look. And this looks like a piece. It looks, I mean, come on. The grand scheme of life. That's us. That's us. Grand scheme of life. We way up here. Can't nobody see us. Can't nobody, you're not paying attention to this. You might have just walked over this.
Yeah,
This is life. You might have even stepped on this. This is life. You have to take notice of what's around you because there's beauty everywhere that's around you. But what I really wanted to say was, I'm hot. I'm going to go here say now. Okay. This is me and the daughter. She done went down to pet the little snail. Are you gonna pick him up?
Hmm?
Okay, while she's picking him up. Oh, look, she made him go back in his house. She made him go back in his house. Look. Okay, so. Woo, me and my little hot self. Okay. Point being.
Don't put me on camera.
Oh, don't put you on camera. Okay.
I'm looking all the time.
That is kind of like life. So right now, she made him go back in the shell, right? So sometimes life is going to hit you and going to kind of poke you to see what you're going to do. If you're going to turn over and roll, are you going to move faster or slower? What are you going to do? Sometimes that's me. That was me. That was me. When life started poking me and I couldn't take it anymore, she put it in her hand. Look. Aww. And even that's profound because the fact that life just picked her up and is going to put her back down where it wants her to.
Where I need to be.
But anyway, that was me.
You think it wants to be in the grass?
Do I think it wants to be in the grass? Well, he was coming from the grass, wasn't he? I mean, if I was a snail, honestly speaking, I would probably want to be in the grass, especially if the grass is wet.
I was going to throw him, but...
Aww. She placed him. Well, that she was placing him.
I was
And
trying.
she didn't place him. But anyway, as I was saying, when she poked him, okay, you could see him like moving along slowly. He was moving. So that's point number one. Even though you're moving slowly in life and you don't think that you're moving fast enough and everybody around you is like going super, that might be what you're supposed to be doing. Just kind of inching along at your own pace. Do not let other folks dictate how and where you should be at any point of given time, because maybe that wasn't for you. Maybe you're not meant to be down the driveway. Maybe you're not meant to be over there in the grass. Maybe you're meant to be right here on the side of the sidewalk so that somebody could get you and pick you up and love on you for a second and place you back, closer to where you wanted to go. Who knows? Who knows what is in store for you? So just because you are moving slowly, progress is progress. Okay? Know that. Progress is progress. Now, the second thing is, it was slow and he was coming out of his shell. So, the point of that one is that it's probably time. As he grows, he's going to come out of his shell. But because he was so far out, he was probably, to travel, he was taking that shell. But that shell, he's going to be a slug. We don't see snails. We see slugs over here. Do we see snails?
Mm-mm.
We see slugs.
Mm-hmm.
So that means they're big, they've grown, and they've outgrown their little house. So sometimes, think about it, not sometimes, but eventually you're going to outgrow the house that you're so used to and that comfortable with. Eventually, you are going to outgrow your circumstances, your world, your environment, the people you hang with, the way, the methods that you do things. You're going to outgrow that. Just embrace it and go with the change. Because you know what? Even though slugs might not look like they do stuff, I mean, I'm sure nature has a reason for them somewhere. But the point is, they shed that house. They shed what they're comfortable with, and they go ahead and experience life shellless. Some of you out there, it's time to go shellless.
Mama, did
Yeah.
Mylan come out with a red Gatorade?
I didn't see it if he did.
He didn't take my Gatorade.
One of the girls both had red Gatorades. Not that I'm telling on anybody.
Dang it.
But out there to play basketball.
You're interrupting me. Train of thought. Where was I at, Disney?
Shells.
Huh?
Shells.
Oh, okay, yes. Sometimes, well, I always say sometimes. There is going to come a point in your life, once again, that you're going to need to go shellless, okay? There's just no way around it. In order for you to grow and to exist and to become what you're supposed to become, you have to go shellless and go fearless. Even though you think the world might fracture you or somebody might pour salt on you, and a lot of people pour salt on you, a lot of people. Just know that. But know that it's you have to. You have to. It's part of the game. It's part of life. You can't live in the shell forever. You know why? Because point number 3, which was actually point number 1, but I started going backwards, so we'll go back to the first point, which was the point of when life was poking. Remember when I said she was poking, if she made it go back in the shell? You can't live in your shell. Sometimes you have to move, but sometimes you really do. You can't let life put you back in your shell. Okay, you can't. It's very hard. That was me. When stuff got hard, when things got tough, I am good for shutting down and going in my room and saying, you know what, it doesn't exist. I go comatose. I go, Shawnee, are you listening? No, I hear everything you say, but it is not registering up here because I have put the shell on. I don't want to deal with life. I don't want to deal with the world. It is too much. The people are too mean. And you have to know this. The people are